Welcome to the Shekina Meditation Podcast, created by Shekina community members. Shekina communities are dedicated to creating free devotional spaces of Christian practice for spiritual seekers and travelers around the world. We post Christ-centered guided meditation each week to help you in your personal or small group practice. You can find episode show notes and other information at shekinacommunity.com.
Hello, this is Ro.
And this is Ray.
It's episode 86 of the podcast. And it's Tuesday, the 1st of September, as we record this. And we have a little bit of sunshine today after a massive big storm last night.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Yeah.
It was one of those storms that came in and all the light was gone.
Mm-hmm.
And the trees were just blowing around.
Yeah.
Like back and forth, and rain was coming down in sheets.
Yeah.
It was wild. It felt very wild.
Mm-hmm.
Well, listeners, you are the beautiful ones.
Mm-hmm.
This podcast is supported by you. And we want to keep our podcast ad-free because it's a meditation podcast. And so we don't want it interrupted by annoying ads. But that means we need you guys. If you're supporting us already, we love you so much. And if you're not, you can do it so easily by going to patreon.com/Shekina Meditation Podcast and signing up to support us for $1 a month, $2 a month, or
100, 200.
Yeah, the possibilities are infinite.
Yeah.
And it all goes towards our community, like keeping the lights on and taking care of our beloved office manager and doing the projects that we do, keeping these meditations free for travelers and spiritual seekers that come to find our communities.
Yeah. And you can also support this podcast by sharing, maybe sending a link to one that you've listened to lately to someone, or posting it on your socials. Or you could rate us and review us on iTunes. Even if maybe you don't listen on iTunes, you could just, put a little word out there on iTunes about us. It just helps other people who are searching for this kind of meditation or this kind of podcast to find us.
Yeah, pop on there. We would love to hear from you. And thank you to those of you who have reviewed already. There's some really sweet words and some sweet reviews on there. So thank you.
Also a shout out this week to Robbie and Reem listening in Nepal.
Oh, sweet. Robbie and Reem, we love you.
We love you guys.
We miss you. I'm glad that we can be close through the podcast.
Yep. Let us know if you're listening, and we'll give you a shout out.
Yeah, we'll give you a shout out for sure. Patrons, you are the best. You are like sunshine, turning everything golden. Which is special because we've been in a fog. We've been in cloudiness for weeks, and then when the sun comes out, suddenly everything's alive. It's so beautiful.
We almost forget how beautiful it is when everyth's lit up here. It's so pretty. Yeah. Laura had that same experience in India this week. She said the monsoon is starting to end and we had sunshine.
Yes.
So exciting.
I remember that. My first monsoon in India, when the sun started coming out, I suddenly was like, because we landed on the first day of monsoon, so I didn't see it for months. And then the sun started coming out, and I felt like I was in a whole different world.
So beautiful.
Yeah, so beautiful. So what's been going on this week for you?
Well, even though we have had some heavy rains, we haven't flooded again. I know we've mentioned a couple of times the last few weeks about flood threats, and so far the river has stayed down. We're so thankful for that. So we've appreciated being able to work in the garden and being able to do things. Every time that we do something there at the moment, we feel like it's an act of faith. Like if we're weeding or composting or whatever it might be. Yeah. We're doing it hoping and trusting that it won't be swept away and taken away by a flood in the next days. So it's an interesting practice. Yeah. And it's teaching us about impermanence, but it's also teaching us about faith and putting energy into good things, even not knowing what the end result will be.
Yeah, and I feel like somehow our life is always a bit like that. Yeah. Doing what we do, we work with travelers living in countries where where we don't have any rights here in a way. At any moment they could say, okay, head on out.
Yep.
you're done. So it's always a sense of, okay, is this worth doing even if I have to leave, or even if, even if this person, I don't see them again. Is it worth like this conversation or this time together? And it is. It is. And all these little moments build up on each other to make a life.
Yeah, exactly. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So many lessons in there.
Yeah, so many lessons. And especially right now, like we can't make plans. We're just going day by day still.
That's right. Speaking of day by day, the next day, tomorrow, we have a pretty exciting plan.
Yeah.
We're doing another food delivery
to
a village that you guys did one at already early in the season.
Yeah,
right?
our first one was in Meiping, this village. It's very close by. We chose a close by village because the wetness of the roads makes them nearly impassable if they're dirt roads. So we went safe and thought we would do it at this beautiful, it's such a gorgeous village. I can't tell you the feeling this village gives me. It's just so beautiful. Little Karen village on the edge of our town. So we're excited to be going out there tomorrow.
Yeah, that'll be a nice adventure. I think we're doing a delivery for 25 families, I think, tomorrow.
Sweet. Which
is exciting. And our manager has helped us to find some families, and her family has some connections in that village, so we know that it's going to the people who really need it. And
that's so good.
It's just the best. Yeah, if you feel like you want to contribute to that, get in touch.
We'll keep doing it basically as long as we have money for it. So you can find it. I mean, I'll put it in the show notes this week, but it's basically through Venmo or PayPal. Pretty easy ways to donate to that. Day is my oldest son's 18th birthday.
Yay! Happy birthday, Kai!
Kai's 18 today.
Amazing.
Kai the Magnificent.
You have an adult kid.
I have an adult kid, yeah. He can vote.
He's so great.
So 18 years ago, I was in a little hospital in Arcata, California, giving birth to my very first son. So crazy.
So wonderful.
I just feel like amazing that we made it through.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we still have a ways to go. We have lots of, he's got a full school year ahead of him. Right. We're going to work on his transition to whatever is next for him in life. But, it's wonderful that he is 18. Oh, lovely.
What a special day.
The other thing is we're going to have lunch on Sunday. We're going to have a community lunch on Sunday.
Oh my gosh, it's been a while.
It has, since March.
Yep, that's quite a while. Longest ever break, probably.
Yeah. Definitely the longest ever break. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So, I think it's going to be exciting. I think it'll be lovely to have whatever circle shows up there. Little, probably small, but which is good. I mean, I think it's a good thing right now. Yeah. But since we still have no COVID in Thailand right now locally, past cases, and so we have less restrictions, we might as well take advantage of it while we can.
That's right.
And, we just don't know if restrictions will come back or what will happen, so we're just going to go for it.
Yeah.
And
just do one, see how it goes.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe keep it up.
We're easing in.
Maybe do it every couple of weeks. We'll see.
Yeah, there's still just 4 of us.
Yeah. It's a big job for just a few people.
Yeah.
It's true. And everyone kind of mucks in and helps, for sure.
Yes.
There's a lot of
counting
behind
on
the scenes stuff.
Counting on that.
Yeah,
there is some behind the scenes stuff.
So today's episode, dear ones, is a lectio divina meditation. It's on Psalm 13, guided by Ray and recorded at Shekina Garden in Pai. This is a psalm of lament, and Ray will guide us through the different stages of lament in the psalm, just sinking into the feeling of each emotion on each read through. So she's going to start by helping us prepare our mind, just with some exercises to get our focus and settle in. Then she'll read through the verses a few times, lots of space, and just some gentle prompting with these ideas of the stages of lament, the ideas of emotion around it, and encouraging us to really feel deeply into what the words, how they feel with those different emotions. And then for the third part of the meditation, it's about processing and reflecting. So you could share your thoughts with yourself if you've been meditating alone by writing them down, or maybe doing a little voice memo in your phone, or drawing a picture or writing a poem, however you like to process, doing a dance. And if you're meditating with some friends, you might like to pass a talking stick or another object around the circle and just leave space for each person to share without interrupting each other, without speaking over each other, just letting each person process a little out loud.
Yeah.
That can be such a precious time in the meditation.
Yeah, making space for each other.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, we love that part.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, friends, let's begin.
Well, welcome to meditation at Shekina Garden. Today we are going to do a lectio divina meditation on Psalm 13, which is a psalm of lament. It feels appropriate right now to do a psalm of lament, and there are several sections to a psalm of lament, and they're really instructive for us, I think, in how to dialogue with God during difficult times. Feels like it's a good way. And so, yeah, this is a short psalm. It's actually only 6 verses altogether. And so I'm going to guide as usual with some exercises to come to a place of quiet in our minds, and then read through the verses a few times with some silence in between, and then we'll share in our sharing circle about what it meant for us and what was going on for us. So we can jump right in with just some breathing. You find a way to sit that feels like your head is pointing upward, being drawn up maybe by the crown of your head, reaching your spine nice and straight. And you don't need to keep your spine this way, but beginning this way and opening the lungs is a good way to kind of bring the awareness and awakeness into your body that you need. So begin with breathing by becoming aware of the breaths that you take in and the breaths you release. You don't need to change your breath, but just start to notice what is happening in your body as you breathe. As you inhale, imagine your lungs expanding, 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 and hold it for just a second before you allow all the air to rush back out into the space around you. Become aware of the sensations within your body. The place where you are connected to the ground, and the place where you're, like the air on your skin, the fact that you are moving, a moving being, meeting either air or earth or ground with every motion. Bring your awareness to those places, different places on your body that are meeting the thing next to it, whether it's air or the solidness of the ground or the seat. Maybe your own hands on your knees. And direct your attention to the sounds that you hear around you. Seeking quiet sounds or loud sounds, playing with your sense of hearing. Imagine trying to fling your sense of hearing like a rope or something that you can throw, and catching the farthest thing away that you can hear. Now bring it very close and try to hear the closest, nearest sound that you can hear. If you like, you can make your breath a tiny bit audible. You can listen to the sound of your breathing. Imagine that you are sitting and looking into a pool of water, a small pool of water in front of you, and your thoughts are running through the little pool of water like leaves floating. To really give this meditation the most sort of respect, we will try to have a time where we take our thoughts and put them to the side. But for now, you can sit and look and notice the leaves floating around. Allow them to be and notice them as they go by. If you like, you can imagine reaching your hand inside and stirring them around or examining different thoughts. When you feel like you've looked at the different thoughts that have come and are floating in this little pool of water, you can reach your hands in and scoop them out. They come very easily to you, almost like they're attracted to your hands, just coming straight to you so that you can lift them out easily. Set them next to the pool. You can imagine putting them in a piece of cloth or somewhere safe. If you need to, you can look at each one as you put it away, or just set it aside. When you're done, there's just the water left. Maybe the wind on the water, little ripples. It's very clear. There's a lot of space. You can sit where you are, find a comfortable way to sit and look at the water. The Spirit of God is here, the divine presence. Always hovering close by, always near. If you feel comfortable, you can offer some words or a request to the Divine Presence, especially thinking about lament, bringing whatever sorrow it is that you are carrying today, whatever heaviness or anger that you are carrying today. You can offer the Divine Presence a request or a question or an invitation. For me, I'm going to say, God, I bring my sadness to you. You can choose however you feel. If there's something you would like to bring, do that now. However it is that you want to interact with these words, you can. But I will guide us through them 3 times. We will go through them with the first reading, which will have a little bit of silence in between the verses. We are going to, if you feel comfortable, you can imagine anger behind these words, frustration, maybe being furious, fury. Just bring the words, and the emotion we will focus on is anger for the first reading. How long, O Lord? Will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? How long must I take counsel in my soul and have sorrow in my heart all the day? How long shall my enemy be exalted over me? Consider and answer me, O Lord my God. Light up my eyes, lest I sleep the sleep of death. lest my enemies say, I have beaten him. Lest my foes rejoice, because I am shaken. But I have trusted in your steadfast love. My heart shall rejoice in your salvation. I will sing to the Lord, because he has been bountiful with me. For the next reading, you can direct your thoughts and your heart towards the emotions of sorrow and longing. What things in you are filled with sorrow and longing, or the things around you filled with sorrow and longing. There'll be a lot of space in this reading. How long, O Lord, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? How long must I take counsel in my soul and have sorrow in my heart all the day? How long will my enemy be exalted over me? Consider and answer me, O Lord my God. Light up my eyes, lest I sleep the sleep of death. Lest my enemies say, I have beaten him. Lest my foes rejoice, because I am shaken. but I have trusted in your steadfast love. My heart shall rejoice in your salvation. I will sing to the Lord, because he has been bountiful with me. For the next reading, the last reading, if you feel comfortable, you can examine the words and listen to the words alongside the feeling or the sense of the choice of trust, the idea of trust. As you hear the words, imagine them coming from a place of trust. How long, O Lord, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? How long must I take counsel in my soul and have sorrow in my heart all the day? How long shall my enemy be exalted over me? Consider and answer me, O Lord my God. Light up my eyes, lest I sleep the sleep of death. Lest my enemies say, I have beaten him. Lest my foes rejoice, because I am shaken. But I have trusted in your steadfast love. My heart shall rejoice in your salvation. I will sing to the Lord, because he has dealt bountifully with me. Is there one of those postures that was easiest and most natural for you today? Maybe all three were, maybe one was in particular. Maybe none. As we return to breath, if you like, you can offer as a breath prayer that posture or that feeling to the divine presence, to the Spirit of God. On the inhale, saying, Jesus, and on the exhale, saying, I give you anger, or I give you sorrow, or trust. Or you could say, be with me in anger, in my sorrow, in my trust. Just take a few moments and focus on your breathing, and if you like, use the breath prayer. And take a few moments to bring yourself back to the space, finishing your breath prayer. And when everyone's ready, we will begin the talking circle. Thank you for joining today. There will be a new guided meditation available each week, so don't forget to subscribe to iTunes or sign up for our newsletter to get podcasts delivered to your inbox at www.shekinacommunity.com/podcast newsletter. Also, you can rate or review on iTunes or sign up as a patron at patreon.com/Shekina Meditation Podcast. Have a beautiful week. Many blessings to you.